You have to start romanticizing your You have to start romanticizing your life. You have to start thinking of yourself as the main character. Because if you don't, life will continue to pass you by. And all the little things that make it so beautiful will continue to go unnoticed. So take a second.
Thanks to that video and other main character trends over the last year, get this, TikTok has been inspiring people to harness main character energy in their everyday lives. Joining us this morning to tell us what it is and how it can help all of us is comedian and entrepreneur, live from Chicago, baby, Beth Gaskill. Good morning, Beth. How are you?
Good morning, Dina. I'm so happy to be here.
It's so great to see you. Listen, what is this main character energy? This is the first time, you could tell I'm not on TikTok, that I've heard of it because it's huge. The hashtag main character energy has had over 6.7 billion views. So what is it? What does it mean?
Well, I like to think of main character energy as the radical act of choosing you. Especially women are taught to play it small or stay safe by being supporting characters, but it's taking control of your own life. We're choosing to put ourselves at the forefront. We're not playing a supporting role anymore.
Oh, I love that. And especially in the pandemic where we all kind of cocooned, it's even harder to break out, bust out, and figure out how to tap into that. What I find extra fascinating about you is you're a stand-up comedian, which I find is such a brave profession. To like stand out there and be like, do you find me funny? It's just you and a microphone and go, right? You're at the mercy of the audience. It's so brave. But you said even for yourself, this wasn't something that came naturally.
Right. I was so shy. I came from a huge family. I didn't really know where I fit in. And I had this question inside of me that was getting louder and louder. I realized I was kind of playing a supporting role in my own life, which is terrifying. So I started trying to trust myself and choose the things that I wanted to do. And when I started doing those tiny steps, I wrote and performed stand-up comedy. I created a brand, a business. I wrote my own curriculum for kids. Everything in my life changed.
But weren't you afraid of failure or rejection? Like, how did you get past that? Because you could have all the confidence in the world, and then, gosh forbid, you go out there and make one of those small steps. If you don't get the reaction you were hoping for, how does that not deter you?
Well, you know, it's kind of, I kind of started with very tiny steps, like choosing a nail color that wasn't like what everyone wanted. You know, red is more like typical, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to try orange. And then you kind of give yourself that confidence, like, okay, the world didn't end because I chose something that I wanted that was a little bit different.
You're so right. I once had a boss many years ago. I love that. Like, I call it the Hulk gooey green nail polish. And he said, don't ever wear that again. And I haven't. Like, I'm like, who cares? It's nail polish. It comes off. You're so right. It's little things. So for people who are watching right now and they feel very introverted, very shy, they have no idea where to begin, what advice do you give?
Well, I give a couple of steps. One, remember, it's not about being the loudest. It's about being the youest. So we're not trying to be the main character in the world. You're trying to be the main character in your own life. So start really small. Prioritize one thing a day. Wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to go for a run, or I'm going to write for 5 minutes if you want to be a writer. Choose that one tiny thing and then check in with yourself at the end of the day if you made that promise. 2, pick people that surround or that are also on that main character energy journey. And 3, remember, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Just keep going. It's going to be challenging because it is a little different.
That's the thing, right? And what your main character energy is doesn't have to match what someone else's is. That's very different to your comfort zone. So what is the inside work you talk about? You say a lot of us have to work on our inside. So how so?
Yeah, so I think, at least if you're anything like me, I wasn't taught to look to myself for validation. I was taught to look to others, to my family, to my friends. So you really have to take that time every single day to look to yourself and actually ask what you want. It seems really simple, but it's actually really complicated. Just checking in with yourself. What do I actually want? It could be, do I want to go for a walk? Do I want to wear those jeans? Do I want to write a little bit? Just asking yourself what you want in each tiny moment.
And you're so right about surrounding yourself, not necessarily with only yes people, because we see where that can take people down a bad path, right? But it's like good, supportive people who truly love and care about you to nurture you, whether it be a mentor, whether it be if you're lucky enough to have family, friends. You have to really get that positive support system in place.
Exactly.
So where do we find more info? Because you have amazing tips.
Oh, thank you. You can find me on TikTok at Hey Miss Beth or on Instagram at Big City Readers.
Beth, you're lovely. So nice talking to you. Now we know main character energy. There it is, friends. I used to be very shy too. People find that hard to believe. And when I'm not on this
you
show,
have to overcome all the things.
right? When I'm not on this show, I prefer to just be like the quiet one off into a corner, and I'll be asking you the questions. It's so interesting. There's different facets, like lasagna. All of us are
I know,
lasagna.
it is interesting.
Now I'm hungry. Thanks, Beth.